Hey y'all, welcome back to Mac Music Review. I just want to get this review out as fast as possible because my family's going to wake up soon. I was going to take a shower, but I've been so bad at keeping up with this YouTube channel and uploading and stuff that I just said, I just have to do this. And so, here's the video. It's a little rushed, it's a little sudden, but it has to happen. And just because if it doesn't happen right now, I might not be able to upload today. I might be doing something today. So, yep. Today we're looking at the album Tomorrow We Live by KB. And this is the album cover. Tomorrow We Live is the second full-length album for the Christian rapper KB, one of the bigger Christian rappers on the spectrum, one of the ones that's, a little bit more popular. On Tomorrow We Live, very interestingly, even though Today We Rebel, his third full-length album, had plenty of artists throughout Christian rap, either like up-and-coming artists like Aha Gazelle and Ty Brazell, or like, old-school popular ones like Lecrae and others. This album really doesn't have a lot of guest artists. Most of the guest artists on this thing are very obscure, and they're female singers that just kind of lend their voice to a chorus or two. Like on songs like Lights Go Out, well, that's actually a dude singing, but like songs like Find Your Way or Calling You, and they just, have to have some female singer get that hook. It feels a little bit mandatory, but that's, how it works. That's just, it's a thing. But Lecrae is on the song Sideways. He's the biggest guest artist on this thing. He's really the only significant guest artist on this album, but yeah. He's on the song Sideways. In terms of content and tone, as KB projects often are, it's basically everywhere, but there is some method to the madness. So the first half of this album, first you start off with some hype songs like Rich Forever, which also has kind of some profound lyrics. It mixes like hype and profound. And then Sideways and I Believe. Sideways is just an insane banger that's just crazy sounding. And then I Believe is this hype-up anthem that's, you can do it, man, I believe that we will win, is the chorus. And then you have Fall in Love with You, Always and Forever, and I'ma Just Do It, which are all like love songs about marriage, basically. And, yeah. And then you get the darker songs on this album, which begin with Cruising and continue to like Calling You, which is about suicide, tells the story of one of KB's friends who's like trying to commit suicide and he's trying to talk him out of it. And then songs like Drowning, where KB sings about raps and sings about feeling like he's drowning, and this really crazy beat that gives you feel like you're falling and that you're surrounded by like pain and anxiety or whatever. It's a good song. And then you have like Crowns and Thorns, which very predominantly samples one of the biggest gospel songs ever made, one of the biggest worship songs ever made, Oceans. It's Crowns and Thorns, in parentheses, Oceans, which just carries a lot of that song, and then he injects some rapping into it. A lot of it's profound, a lot of it's serious. And then Lights Go Out is another one that's kind of serious, and Find Your Way, also kind of serious. Really, the thing about this album is that it's insanely inconsistent, with some very, very good highs, basically that come in the beginning and end section of this album, and then you have some very low lows, which come literally in like the middle section, which is just the marriage songs. Fall in Love with You, Always and Forever, and I'ma Just Do It. I'ma Just Do It is straight up cringy. The chorus on this, which is like a sample, it sounds like it's supposed to be funny, like comical, but the way his rapping is just really awkward on this, but it just comes across as just really awkward and really kind of cringy. It's not a good song. The other two aren't very good either. With that being said, the first half of this album is pretty good. The first few songs on this album, I mean. Rich Forever is a really great song. Just really great lyrics, really great music, really great rapping by KB on this thing. It's got some profound stuff. It's kind of a serious song, but it also is really hype and really cool sounding. And so it's a very good song. It's one of the best on the album. Sideways is good the first couple times you hear it, but it does get old. It does sound cool like right now, but I used to listen to this song a lot, and it eventually got kind of grating, and I'm sure it would for you as well if you listen to this song a lot. I Believe works as an uplifting hype song, but it's very little else. It's kind of one-dimensional, But it does do what it tries to do and does it well. It is a fun, enjoyable song, and it is kind of hype. Some of the best songs on this album, Cruising is awesome. The way this song progresses, where it starts off with just like traditional kind of rap lyrics about just cruising through the hood, just chilling out, and then it just drastically changes to him talking about him hitting someone, or him getting hit by a car and going to the hospital and breaking all his bones and everything. And it just the music on this thing is really cool, and it works really well to communicate the message of the song. And the overall vibe of the song is really cool. Calling You is actually really good. It ends with a gunshot. He's talking, because it's a very unexpected ending, because he's talking to his friend. He said, I'm a Christian, I go to church, I should know how to deal with this. Should know what to say to make someone not kill themselves. And then you hear a gunshot, and it turns out he dropped the gun. He didn't kill himself, but he got really close. And it's a very anxiety-ridden song. It's a song you're really into it when you're listening to the song. You're really awake and paying attention. It was really, first couple times you hear this song, it's very, very impressive. Save Me is an excellent intro to Drowning. It leads up to the song so well. It literally, it's just, an intro can be used very, very effectively to lead into a song and add to the song. And this intro just does that just very, very well. And Drowning is definitely one of the best songs in this album. Very dark lyrics, very dark kind of, but also rap type of music with electronic elements. And it's really good vibe. Sometimes when KB really tries, he can really set a mood very well. It can really create a dark tone and just do it great. He does a really great job on this song. Lights Go Out and Find Your Way are very meh. I don't care a lot for these songs. Crowns and Thorns is really good. This is an interesting song that he mixes it with so predominantly with this humongous worship song. And he actually adds a lot to it, and he really does do a good job. This is one of the darker ones. It gets lighter as it goes on, but once more darker, more serious lyrics, and it's really good. The song it's a good song. All that being said, this is not a super consistent album. I think this album has plenty of great, definitely a solid handful of songs that I would come back to, that I would put on a playlist. But overall, there's just too much meh stuff and not good stuff for me to Most of it's not downright bad, but I'ma Just Do It is downright terrible. But it's an inconsistent album. It's inconsistent. It's got some really good highlights, though, and, the rapping is good for the most part. The lyrics are good for the most part. The music is good for the most part. I'm going to give this album a 3.5 star rating out of 5. That wraps up the KB album reviews. I might come back, and when I'm done with reviewing everything, which is going to take a really long time, I might review his EP 100, which I don't think is very good at all, but I might review it. And I don't really want to review Weight and Glory. I think that's the name of his first album. I don't want to review it. I've listened to it. It hasn't aged well. The production doesn't sound... It's, old Christian rap music. Christian rap music has aged very badly. And I think most old rap music hasn't aged well. But specifically Christian rap from the 2010s hasn't aged well. Early 2010s has not aged well. And that's a good example of that. So I might review more KB in the future. I definitely am looking forward to his next album. I'm always looking forward to KB. Thank you for watching this video.